Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of SPINcast. I'm here with Garrett Schieferstein, and he is he's with Manchester University, but I'll let him introduce his program, and we'll just get started.
Hello, my name is Garrett Schieferstein. I'm the full-time director of esports here at Manchester University. Excuse me. We are located in North Manchester, Indiana. Manchester University as a whole is a small liberal arts college. We focus a lot on well-rounded educations, and our academic specialties are in the health sciences, stuff like biology, chemistry, pre-med, pre-pharm. We also have an amazing college of business, capstone by our accounting program, and a great college of education. As an esports program, we participate in 6 different games. We have League of Legends, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros., Fortnite, Overwatch, and Valorant. Our program as a whole has 80 unique students spread across those 6 games.
Nice.
And every student in our program gets at least $1,000 per year scholarship. That is regardless of skill level or ability. And then we can upgrade that to $3,000 based on your rank or skill level within your main title.
Off of that, do you guys offer academics as well?
Yes, so every student that's admitted to the Manchester University is offered an academic scholarship. The amount of the scholarship ranges based on your high school unweighted GPA. So if you're at the lower end of your GPA being admitted, you get $12,000 per year. And there's many different tiers, all the way up to $22,000 per year if you have a 3.9 or above unweighted high school GPA. And the esports scholarship tax on top. So if you're a great student and a great player, that's $22,000 for academics, $3,000 for esports. You already have $25,000 scholarship to come to Manchester. And that is before any of your FastFit aid, any outside scholarships, anything like that comes into effect.
Gotcha. Well, no, that's really cool then. So, grades really important as always there, especially in your school's case where you can really accelerate how much you get academically. Are you guys under athletics?
We are not under athletics. We are under student life.
Gotcha.
We're very lucky to be under student life because Manchester athletically is Division III under NCAA. And under NCAA rules, Division III schools can't give out athletic scholarships. So we are not athletics. We're not bound by the NCAA rules. So we can give out whatever we deem fit, which right now at the moment is $3,000 per year. So our varsity League of Legends players, our varsity Smash Bros. Players, they have more scholarship money than the starting quarterback for a football team or the best softball player on campus or anything like that.
Cool. What are some of the main traits or skills that you look for when recruiting?
I look for someone who will get along with our players. Our players are they're very competitive, but they want to enjoy the game. They want to all get better as a whole. We don't cut players, so we have some of the best players in the United States in our games, and then we have players who are relatively new to the game, down on like JVC team rosters, and everyone needs to be able to work together to make everyone better, right? And we don't want players with egos. We don't want players that only want to play with the best players in the world or stuff like that. We want players that want to be at Manchester. They want to be at Manchester for the right reasons. They want to get a good education. They want to have that small town community that be able to be involved right away and have that full-time esports program effect. So we kind of want someone that fits all of those boxes.
Gotcha. That's really cool there. And definitely important, no matter how good you are. I always say there's a bunch of other things that kind of come into how you are as a player besides just like what your rank is or how you are at a competitive level. So that's all definitely important there. You guys currently host any events, camps, anything like that?
We host a yearly high school Super Smash Bros. Tournament.
Nice.
To my knowledge, it's the largest high school only tournament in the Midwest. I don't know of another one that's bigger. It's actually coming up in 10 days, so a little late to advertise for it on this, but it is held about the weekend before Thanksgiving every year. This year, we expect around 200 to 250 high schoolers from throughout the Midwest to be on campus for that high school Super Smash Bros. Tournament.
And then, so when you say high school only, biggest high school only overall or for Smash specifically?
For Smash specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an individual tournament, so teams come with like 15, 20 guys per team, but they all compete individually.
Gotcha. Cool.
And then the top 8 placers of that tournament receive our $3,000 per year scholarship.
Gotcha. How long have you guys been hosting that for now?
This is the 3rd year.
Gotcha. That's really cool. Off of that, what does your guys' current esports facility or space look like?
Yeah, so we do have a full-time facility. It is in the basement of one of our office buildings on campus. It's 2,600 square feet.
Hmm.
It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, only accessible to students within our esports program. And I think that's something that makes our lab unique. Is a lot of other schools I've seen, their lab closes or it's not available for students all the time. This is the student space. They can use it as much as they'd like, not however they'd like. They have to keep it. There are some rules. They have to keep it clean, no eating at the station, stuff like that.
Sure.
But it's their space to use. During the school day, there's usually about 5 to 10 students down here just in between classes, either watching YouTube, doing homework, or just playing a few games while they have free time before their next class. Later at night for mandatory practices, it's packed. It's people are grinding, really working together on scrims, VOD reviews, stuff like that. And then later at night or on weekends after matches, it's really relaxed down here. We have a living room area where students will do like karaoke or do VOD review. We had a world's viewing party for League of Legends a few weeks ago. It's just a very nice, versatile space for students to use in a variety of ways. We have a 28 MSI 3070 PCs down here, Secret Lab gaming chairs. We have a separate cutout station for Super Smash Bros. So they're not using the PC stations. So we have 7 Nintendo Switches there. And then we have a cutoff streaming lab. So that while our varsity teams are yelling, screaming at their games out there, in the streaming lab, our casters, which are usually JV players for those titles, can be yelling and screaming about the games broadcasting
Hmm.
out on Twitch in the streaming lab.
Awesome. No, that's really cool. And you mentioned broadcasting and stuff like that too. So, do you guys currently recruit for students to help in non-player roles?
Yes. So we recruit players to work as student assistants. And we can give you a $3,000 per year scholarship as well. So if you're interested more in broadcasting, social media, creating or videography, photography, graphic
Mhm.
design, those kind of things, we can give you a $3,000 per year scholarship to come and do that here for our teams. You wouldn't have to be on the Valorant team competing. You'd be on what we call the stream team, doing the production and the back end stuff.
Gotcha. Um, what would you say are some of the bigger challenges that you've currently faced within your program?
Some big challenges for us is finding that balance between competitiveness and academics. Um, like I said, we have some insanely competitive players here. Players that want to be on the best team in the country. They want to win conference championships. They want to compete at the highest level with the biggest schools in the country.
Hmm.
Um, but they have to be students first. And
Yep.
that's something that I try to instill in them from the moment they walk onto campus as a high schooler on their visit or the first day of their freshman year, is that you have to prioritize academics first. We have rigorous academic standards here. If your GPA does not meet a certain requirement, you are not eligible to compete in esports until it comes back up. Um, Even during a semester, if you have 2 Fs in this at the same time, you're suspended for at least 7 days. Um, and these are just kind of rules that we have to make sure that students are prioritizing classwork first and then esports second.
Yep.
And I'd say that's the biggest challenge so far.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, as I say, student athlete, student comes first. So,
Mhm.
definitely important to, when I talk to players, it's like they ask how much does GPA matter and stuff like that. At the end of the day, everyone has a different academic level and things like that. But, it gets to a certain point where you can't even compete, like you said. So,
Yeah.
you definitely need to keep it up to a certain level there. In the reverse of that, what would you share some of the more proud moments or bigger achievements you've had within your program?
Our biggest achievements are, well, first, I think the growth of our program. We started up in January of 2020 with 18 students, and by fall of 22 here, we're up to 81. So we've rapidly expanded. We put in a whole new esports lab. This lab is just only a year old. We
Hmm.
put it up, me and a couple students in the area over the summer put it up. So a lot of hard work went into that. And that's all because of the team chemistry, how well everyone gets along, how much fun everyone has. We have the highest retention of any group on campus here at Manchester.
Nice.
And then when it comes to competitive highlights, our Super Smash Bros. Team is one of the best teams in the country. They're our highest performing team. In the National Collegiate Circuit, which was held last year, they placed top 8 in the country in the fall and then top 12 in the spring in NACE. And they got the number 5 overall seed for NACE in Varsity Premier this year.
Nice.
So they're in playoffs right now. Hopefully, their stretch goal is to be NACE champions this year.
Hmm.
It'll be tough, but I think we can definitely get top 8 again. Top 4 would be great, and number 1 is it's within our sights. Um,
Hmm.
and then within our small regional conference, which is the Great Lakes Esports Conference, it's comprised of 17 local Division 3, Division 2 schools throughout Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. Our teams have had a lot of success there. Our Smash Bros. Teams have won 3 consecutive conference championships, hopefully a 4th this coming weekend. We have matches in 2 days for that.
Hmm.
and they're a combined record of 40-1 over 4 years
Wow.
in Smash. Um, our League of Legends team just got the number 2 seed. They are 10-2 on the season, which is a huge improvement over last year. And then Overwatch and Rocket League are next semester, and we're hoping for top 4 seasons from them as well.
Awesome. No, it's really good. 40-1. Can't really do much better than that. So
Mhm.
congrats there. But kind of wrapping it up here, if you give one piece of advice to any player watching, what would it be?
Any player watching, one piece of advice would be figure out what you'd like in a college before you start talking to schools. There are lots of different schools out there, and they all have different cons or pros. They all have different cons. They're all very different. If you want figure out if you want a big school in the middle of a large metropolitan area, or if you want a small school that's quieter. Figure out what major you want. See if that school's strong in your major. Make sure that the school is right for you as well as the esports program. I would argue that the school is way more important than the esports program. If a student comes to me and says, Garrett, I want a school that has 40,000 students, I want a school that is in the middle of Indianapolis, I straight up say that school is not us, right?
Hmm.
There's other schools like that. But if a student says, I want a small school where I can feel at home, it's not in the middle of a large city, liberal arts, I'd point them towards us. If they want business or science fields, they're right
Yeah.
down our alley. And then we start talking about esports, making sure we're good fits academically first before esports.
Yeah, I always say it's about you need to figure out what your priorities are when you're looking at schools and not focus on the esports aspect of it. You
Mhm,
almost like you said, need to look at the school first because if the school doesn't fit what you're looking for, then it's going to be hard for you to probably stay there all 4 years. You'll probably end up leaving just because if it's uncomfortable for you to live there or study there or whatever, then make the esports side of it won't make up for that. So.
mhm. And another piece of advice would be make sure you get the final price from all your schools before you commit. A lot of
Mhm.
schools try to pressure students in committing early before they get prices out, and then they hit them with a larger bill than expected, and students are kind of stuck. Some schools don't, like us, we don't get financial aid packages out until January. So I always recommend students, even ones that want to come here, they commit in the fall. I say, hold off, wait till you see the final bill because it varies widely based on your FAFSA aid. Because we can give you the large academic scholarships, the large esports scholarships, but some students get more aid than others through the FAFSA.
Mhm.
So I always make sure that you make a fully informed decision. You have all the information on academics, you have all the information on financial aid, you have all the information for esports. And then once you and your family sit down and you make a decision and you commit to Manchester, then we'll start that process.
Yep.
But I always recommend don't jump the gun. Those spots will always be there for you. Make sure you ask about deadlines from your admissions counselors or coaches because those are important. But make sure you have all the information before you make your decision.
Yeah, 100% agree. And usually, um, or most programs as well are able to work with the player to it's a little bit different when you're getting recruited as an esports player compared to just a regular student. The deadlines aren't as like strict in that
Mhm.
sense. So definitely can be flexible there to make sure, like you said, you know what you're paying because you don't want to go there and then you're like, wait, I thought it was this and now it's not type of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, all that's great stuff. Best of luck this weekend at your guys' conference championship tournaments going on, and hopefully you guys can take it out. And it'll be awesome to kind of follow your program, finishing out the semester, moving in next semester, and the years to come. But kind of handing it off to you one last time, Garrett, if you want to just plug any socials, links, anything like that, where any players or parents watching can learn more about your program.
Yeah. Basically, the easiest one is going to our Twitter page, which is MU or at MU underscore esport, singular esport. And that will have links to our website, which will have links to our recruit forums, more information about this program, the school. If your student is interested in applying, I always recommend just applying anyways, because we are a free app school. You don't have to pay anything to apply. And that link is applynow.manchester.edu. Super simple. All we need for you to apply is that free online app and then a copy of your high school transcript. We don't need ACT or SAT test information.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Garrett. It was great to learn more about your program, and we'll see everyone on the next episode.